got arrested, we keeping that private. Buy me a Hyatt for Wyatt. I'ma make sure that you go on a diet. Eat from your plate, you can tell that I like it. You thought you was gonna bag my chick. Yeah, right.
How y'all living today? I'm your host, Zach SchuZ, Schumaker, and I hope you guys are having a blessed day, especially with all going on right now. Hope I can give you guys a little bit of fun for the next 30 minutes. But before we go any further, make sure you hit the red subscribe button below so you don't miss anything on SchuZ Views. I really appreciate that. But while you guys having so much fun in the next 30 minutes, well, you guys need to hear from one of the top players in all the country, and he represents his hometown, Russia, and of course, he is going to be the Florida commit, Samson Ruzhentsev. I promise you it's going to be a big-time interview that you're not going to miss. What else you're not going to miss as well? Everything else I got upcoming on SchuZ Views, the breakdown, and of course, Big Time. And how do you stay up to date on all that? Well, head over to Instagram and Twitter and follow me at Zach Schumaker. I'll make sure to keep all you guys up to date. But what else is big time going on right now as well? This episode is brought to you by the Player Circle. The Player Circle is the only social networking app designed specifically for grassroots basketball players and coaches. Post all your career mixtapes, accomplishments, highlights, stats, commitment edits, pictures, you name it, to get noticed by schools all over the country. Now, make sure to head over to the App Store and download it right now. At the same time, you're not going to miss what Recruitment has to say on Instagram. They're big time. They're going to give you all the updates on high school basketball and men's, women's, everything to keep you up to date on that way. So head over to Instagram and follow Recruits News right now. But with that being said, I'm going to get started. So, Samson's interview is up right after this. I'm blessed to welcome on the number 47 overall player in 2020. The 4-star small forward is also number 10 at his position, and the number 2 overall player in all of Tennessee. He's one of the star players at Hamilton High, one of the top teams in all the country, and of course, Florida commit, Samson Ruzhentsev. What's going on today, my guy?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. And when you came on early in the year, you came on big time, you and Drew, and you guys talked about getting ready to go play in Geico. Obviously, that's not going to go down now because of the corona stuff and all going on right now, but you guys put together a very special season this year. 28-3, 3 losses all year, playing against national teams constantly. I mean, just talk about what kind of special season this was.
We definitely had a great season. I mean, it's probably the best season in Hamilton Heights history, period. I mean, if Geico didn't get canceled, we probably had a chance of making it. And just going, just only losing 3 games throughout the whole season. I mean, Hamilton has never accomplished that before, so yeah, it's been great.
You guys put on a national show against multiple teams. I mean, it wasn't just, like you said, you could play for national championship. I mean, you guys were a top 10 team pretty much all year long, ranked number 2 at the highest, I believe. And you guys were able to defeat top teams. Talk about some of the favorite games of this past season.
Yeah, my favorite game probably against Sunrise Christian. It was the last game before Christmas break at City of Palms, and I'm pretty sure we were down 13 in the fourth quarter, and yeah, we came back and won it by 2, and it was a big win for us for sure, because they were ranked number 4 at the moment, I think, and so yeah, and we stayed undefeated at that point.
And you just talk about that tournament right before Christmas break. Everyone knows you as a high flyer. You can dunk, you can put on a show that way. You're more than athletic, and you obviously had a big dunk contest there. Talk about what some of the dunks you were able to pull off and what it's like having athleticism.
Yeah, it's definitely something I love to just, jump and just dunk in the game, but also dunk contest is something I like to do as well. And I feel like I actually got robbed in that dunk contest because, so after I finished all the dunks we were supposed to do, right? The announcer, he came up to me and he was like, "All right, get ready to celebrate with your teammates and stuff," right? So he was getting ready to give me the trophy, but then somehow they added another dunk and stuff, and I ended up losing. So I don't know. I feel like I was supposed to win that one, but.
When was the first time you started dunking, and what was that experience kind of like?
Well, my first dunk I've ever done was at 13 years old, and in game it was 14. Yeah, and it was crazy because, to be honest, I've never thought I was gonna be able to dunk that early, and yeah, it was an amazing experience. And like since then, I've always like improved my bounds and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely something I love to do.
And let's get a little bit more back to your season. I mean, obviously, like I said, you guys progressed. You guys proved everyone wrong. You guys had multiple upsets. I mean, what was it like just going into the season? What was your guys' mentality on the year?
Um, it was definitely just how you said, to prove everyone wrong because I mean, no one thought that we were gonna accomplish what we did accomplish, and like, I mean, even like playing against Schumaker's prep at Arizona, I mean, on ESPN, the first time basically we got to play top ranked team, and um, I'm pretty sure we weren't invited there to beat the team. So yeah, it was definitely the mentality to prove everybody wrong, and we were always coming into pretty much every game as underdogs. So that's how we felt, yeah, and I feel like we did.
As you said, I mean, when you look at some of these high school rosters, I mean, they're compiled of top 10, top 15 recruits. I mean, you just talk about someone like Hillcrest. I mean, you talked about, you see Montverde. I mean, these teams are compiled with top guys, and you guys had a little bit of the underdog kind of mentality. I mean, you're the highest ranked guy. Obviously, Bayron left mid-season. I mean, what was it like just having a bunch of guys that are going Division One but might not be superstars, and how do you guys kind of get the chemistry to come together?
Um, well, first of all, it's our like second year playing together because last year we pretty much kept everyone except for our point guard and our center from last year. Yeah, so I mean, we already had a really good chemistry because of that. And also, I feel like some guys in our team are really underrated, and they should be uh, ranked. But they're just not for some reason. But I mean, they keep proving everybody wrong on the court, anyways. And like it doesn't really like when you step on the court, it doesn't really matter what ranking you are. You still have to do the same thing everyone else does. So.
Without a doubt, and you guys got off to a hot start, 18-0 on the season. I mean, what was it like those first 18 games?
Um, It was amazing, and it's actually Hamilton High's record um, to go undefeated throughout the first 18 games. And yeah, it was amazing. I mean, to be honest, I thought we were gonna finish it up undefeated, but anyways, it was still a great experience. Like accomplish something like that, it was amazing. Yeah.
To be that successful, you have to have a great bond with your head coach. I mean, talk about what your relationship is like with Coach Farrell.
Um, he's a great coach, great man. I mean, I live under his roof. It's my third year already, and like he took great care of me and other guys who live with me, and he definitely helped my growth as a player and as a man a lot. And the great thing about him is that he wants you to get better um, every single day, and that's like he cares a lot about his players, and he keep pushing us every single day. So yeah.
And obviously, that's part of the reason why you became such an elite player throughout your time there. And obviously, Naga said you're a top 50 ranked player pretty much on all sites, and you're going to head to Florida. I mean, who knows when it might be with the whole Corona stuff going on, but what's your excitement to be able to go get on campus?
Um, I to be honest, I really can't wait to get on campus and start preparing for the next season because I feel like, especially before freshman year, you need more time to prepare for the season. So yeah, I'm really excited, especially because trying to get playing time right away. So
And you
yeah.
were the first commit of this class. I mean, you guys are a top 30 ranked recruiting class. What was it like being the very first guy to say you want to go to Florida?
To be honest, like I already knew I wasn't the first commit. It was just announced in public that I was first. But Nils Lane, he committed before me. And to be honest, I took the last scholarship that Florida had. So it was a little different situation. And like they still had a lot of guys they recruited, and I really liked the school, and I wanted that I, and I knew that I wanted to go there. So I just decided to commit right away, so I won't let anyone else take the scholarship. So,
What really stood out to you about Florida that really made you want to go there?
um, just the relationships I thought I was gonna have with coaches, and the way they talked to me, like they were complete honest with me, and uh, weren't promising too much, and just kept it 100 that I'll have to earn my spot, and but I have a good chance of doing that. So um, also my former teammate was on the roster, and he helped me a lot to just um, he told me a lot about how the players are and how the coaches are during practice, and like how their relationships, and they helped me a lot. So
And I think that's a key thing and why we see so many guys now teaming up for either high school teammates or AAU teammates at the next level. And I mean, what's your relationship with them and how that really grow?
um, yeah, my relationship with Jason is really good. I mean, we've played together for 2 years, and yeah, and he tried to recruit me basically. Um, as soon as he probably left, because he loves it down there in Florida, and like he thinks I'll be a great addition to the team. So yeah.
And you just got done talking a little about your relationship with Coach. I mean, what's Coach Mike White like?
He's a great man. I mean, I've been to his house once. I met his family, and like and he actually kind of reminds me of Coach Farrell a lot too, because he really cares about his players and them getting better, just like Coach Farrell does every single day. So, and I know that um, he'll be pushing me there and help my growth a lot. So,
And you'll be playing in the SEC. I mean, we all know it as one of the best, if not the best conference in all of basketball. What's it going to be like going up against some of the best players and best teams every night?
it's definitely something I'm excited about, um, because tough games are the games I've always loved. And when I know there's a tough game on the schedule, that's what I'm looking forward to every time. But nowadays, when you get to SEC, it's pretty much a tough game every single night. So that's definitely something I can't wait for. Yeah.
Are there any guys in the conference that you're specifically excited to possibly go match up against?
Um, I mean, to be honest, like right now, a lot of guys probably gonna leave to the NBA draft, right? But I guess from the incoming freshman class, guys like Sharif Cooper going to Auburn, right? Um, or I don't know, Jalen Green if he ends up going to the ACC. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely can't wait to play against them. And I mean, I can't wait to play against the Tennessee team, because one of my teammates play on the team as well. We went to Hilton Pass together, so yeah.
That's awesome. I think when you ever get to go match up against former teammates or friends, it's always a special moment too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I actually watched Jason and him match up. They both played the center position, and they both were on the court at the same time. So it was a definitely special moment for them. And me seeing that, because I was at the game, yeah, it was definitely great. So.
Absolutely. And I mean, let's talk about you and your commitment decision. I mean, you narrowed it down to top five. I mean, you had Georgia Tech, Illinois, Ole Miss, Stanford, and obviously Florida. I mean, talk about those four other schools and why they made your top five.
First of all, some schools actually backed off on me after I got injured during the AU season, and um, those schools they stayed recruiting me strong, and also had a really good relationship with coaches in all of those schools. So that's why I got everyone off. And so like you can only take five official visits, so I had to make it top 5.
And a lot of people were saying that Ole Miss was your strong second favorite school to go to, behind Florida, obviously. So would you agree with that?
Um, well, Ole Miss was Ole Miss was my first visit, and like I visited unofficially before, so like I definitely had a great relationship with coaches, and like I always knew that like if something if something was gonna go wrong with Florida or like my commitment to some other school, right? That Ole Miss always has spot for me, and it's a place that I'll be great at regardless. So both of those schools were great options, but I just felt like Florida fits me more, so that's why I picked it.
No doubt. And I think when people look at it, I mean, we know in professional leagues, the Florida teams obviously have a little bit of flash in terms of it's near a beach, it's a great state to live in. I mean, what kind of point of being near the beach did that kind of have to you, or did it have any impact?
I mean, of course, it's great that it's like near the beach and I'll be able to go there sometimes, I guess. But like, it wasn't something that my decision was depending on. I'm more like I care more about relationships or my role in the team than just the location.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's kind of the job that like the best potential spot that Coach White has for you? What's kind of your role or your job going to be?
Yeah, well, if Scotty is gonna end up leaving, like he's projected to, um, then the 3 spot will be basically wide open, and like Coach Mike thinks that I'll be able to take over it if I work hard for it and earn it. So,
For you, is there anyone, maybe a former Florida player that you kind of see yourself being a lot like?
uh, I don't know, maybe like Chandler Parsons.
I mean, when you look at the Florida comparison, I mean, Parsons obviously had a great NBA career, has some injuries, and obviously had a massive injury recently. But
Yeah.
I mean, just being that elite small forward that goes to the next level would be a lot like you, obviously.
I've watched some of Chandler Parsons' highlights of Florida, and I mean, I've seen him play in the NBA for multiple years, even when he was in his prime, before he got all these injuries, and yeah, I can definitely see the comparison between me and him. Just the ability to just shoot the ball and be a versatile defender at the 3 position. So.
And you obviously just said, I mean, your goal eventually would be to go to the NBA at some point throughout your college career. So, what do you need to work on to get and be able to reach that point?
I feel like I need to keep working on something that I do best, which is shooting the ball, but also improving in all the other areas as well. Keep improving my ball handling and ability to create of the dribble for myself and others, and just um, I feel like I need to get better at on the defensive end as well. So yeah, and just keep improving.
You talked a little about obviously your other guys can be joining you at four next year in Nails Lane. What are you kind of excited to be able to play with him?
Um, I mean, to be honest, I haven't even like heard about him until I heard that he committed, and after I looked him up, and I feel like me and him will be a great addition to the team. Him coming to the 1-2 spot, being a combo guard, and me coming to the 3, uh, which allows us to play together. So I think will be a good addition to the team for sure.
Without a doubt. And looking down the line, I mean, obviously you talk about some people that had an impact on recruiting you to Florida. So I mean, what are some things that coaches and people do to help kind of entice you to go to college?
They had a Russian player a couple years ago on the roster. He plays pro in Israel now, but yeah, he was a senior at Florida. His name is Igor Kulichov, and yeah, they got him to reach out to me and talk to me about Florida. Um, especially him being from my country. It was really a good coincidence. So then, also, I mean, obviously they got my former teammate to host me during the visit, and it helped me a lot for sure. So yeah.
And you just talked about your former country. So, I mean, let's talk about your country. I mean, coming from obviously Moscow, Russia, I mean, what was it like growing up out there?
Um, it's a little different. I mean, it's a big city. Like we got like 12 million people there, and um, it's just a kind of a different culture. And even basketball wise, like here it's high school sports, and there is like club system. So it was a little different. And just, I mean, the style of play is different as well. Just the European game, I mean, more of like, I guess it's more slower and like, you play a lot of sets, and yeah, the game is not as fast there. So,
No doubt. And you moved to the USA about 3 years ago. I mean, what was the process like? How'd you kind of get something set up to come to America?
um, it's always been my dream to play in the United States, and there's there's this one, there's this like, I guess it's called agency, but it's not. You don't get an agent actually, right? They just like help people to get over to the other countries. So like, and he reached out to me and he said that like, he thinks that I'll be able to play in the United States, and he could help me with that. So, telling me, and I talked to my parents about it, and like it's always been our dream for me to move um, to the United States and play basketball here. So I agreed, and like my first year, it was I mean, it was a struggle for me because like the game is so different, and like I was just a sophomore, so like I wasn't getting as much playing time, but I mean, I got over it. I worked hard, and I mean, I just had a mindset that I have to stay no matter what because it'll get better and it'll end up working out. So that's how it happened. That's how it went. So yeah.
And we obviously see so many more international players coming into play in college, high school, and obviously the NBA. And I mean, Russia's not necessarily a hot spot for NBA players yet, but there are more and more coming in. I mean, have you had any relationship or maybe anyone that's kind of had an impact in your life that is from Russia that's maybe played in the NBA?
Um, I mean, I've talked my. Have you ever heard of Andrei Kirilenko? Right, you
Hmm.
probably have. Yeah, so he emailed them personally and talked about me before I decided to play with the national team. So yeah.
That's awesome. And you played, obviously, like you just said, you played in the national team. What was that experience like being able to represent your country?
I mean, it was great. To be honest, it didn't go as well as I thought it was gonna be. I don't know. I guess me coming off the injury, I didn't perform as well as I should have, for sure. But I mean, it was still a great experience to just represent my country that level and be the leader on the team and just after playing in in the States for a couple years, I played a European game again. Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah.
No doubt. And let's talk a little bit more about what you talked about, a little about the club games. I mean, over there, as you said, I mean, it's not necessarily high school teams necessarily, but it's a lot more of guys playing at a younger age with adults. I mean, talk about what that kind of is like. And just explain what that system is like playing European and Russia basketball.
Yeah. So basically, you got clubs instead of high school, and there's way less clubs. Like you have to be really good just to get a contract with the club, and like at the age of 14 or 15, you already signed your first contract for 3 years until you turn 18, and Um, but I've never signed one, but because I left to play in the United States so early, but I was actually supposed to. But yeah, so at the age of 15, you sign your first contract and you play on like your age group, or it's so it's under 18 age group, and then you sign another one and it's already under 23 age group, right? And then if you're good enough, you can sign and play actual pro, for that club. So it's like different levels and different teams.
Gotcha. That's awesome. And I mean, just talk about a couple of different fun fact stuff about you. I mean, you said before that your favorite sport was volleyball. I mean, is that still the case? Or if so, I mean, why do you like volleyball so much?
Um, no, like my favorite sport is of course basketball, but like my second favorite sport is volleyball. And I mean, I played volleyball in high school, I guess, for like 2 years. And I don't know, it's just a fun sport. I mean, when you're athletic, it's not that hard to play volleyball. So it was fun for me to do that. So I guess that's why. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't play basketball, I'd probably play volleyball. Yeah, sure.
And another thing people talk to you about is you have a high GPA. I mean, you obviously value your academic side. So what goes into you and why do you kind of pride yourself so much in making sure you always have high academics?
I mean, like to be honest, I started taking basketball seriously only in ninth grade. So like before that, I was always um like my goal was to go to like a good school academic wise, and I went to like like really hard academic school back home, and I guess I just kept that mindset when I moved to United States and just still getting good grades and work hard at school as well. So in the classroom. So
That's awesome. And you also said that your first time you picked up a basketball was at 11. I mean, how'd that kind of go down? How'd you first start playing basketball?
um so it was like I think it was a PE class in my school, and a coach from a club team, he came um to our gym, and he just I guess he was just looking for players, right? Or like people who might have potential, and he asked me to sign up and come to see how it is, like come to practice, and if I see if I like it, and I did, and I found, and it was the first time I found out my dad played basketball as well, and so I really liked it at practice, so I kept going, and yeah, that's how it happened.
That's awesome. And before I let you go, I was like wrapping up a couple different questions. The first one being, who in your life would you say has been your biggest role model?
Uh, it's definitely my father. He's uh, he's I mean, without him, I wouldn't be who I am right now. I mean, back home, he was the one who was making me the player I am and the man I am right now. Like, he was my personal trainer back home, so definitely him.
That's awesome. I mean, I think God always puts different people in our life to kind of help shape their path. And just having someone, obviously a parent or someone that's in your life every day is a huge thing.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man.
hmm Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on, my God. Keep on doing your thing. I can't wait to see you playing at Florida next year.
Thanks, man. I appreciate your time.
Oh, no problem, bro. God bless.